Okay, we're going to run from top to bottom. The first thing you come to is the dashboard. It'll just show you some WordPress news, which is technical. You can do a very quick post, but I would suggest not to. I'll show you how to do a post later, and how many posts and how many pages you currently have. The activity shows you what's happened recently. You tend not to spend very much time on the dashboard, but it's where you come to first, so it's good to know what happens there. The next thing we come to is posts. Next thing we come to is posts, and I'm going to briefly describe the difference between posts and pages. Now, they can actually be a little bit confusing, so I'm going to go to the website itself. Everything that you see is generally a page. So if I go to committees, that's a page. If the home page is a page, planning is a page, all of these sub-pages are pages, so neighborhood plan is a page. When we're talking about posts, let me find some posts. So in parish information, down in village news and events, these are posts, and they're like blog posts. So the things that will be blog posts are generic news, things that aren't going to be there forever. Whereas for a page, it's something that's going to stay forever. A post is more temporary information. And if we look at the home page, the latest news is posted up here, so anything that's under planning or under community news, village news and events will go under there as well. So there's two types of posts that I've put in here, and those are in categories, and the two categories I have is parish news and planning news, and that's what gets divided. So if we go to planning, we can see the planning news, and what's in there will not be what's in the village news. However, all of this news will show on the homepage. I'll show you how to do posts in a different video. Media is where all your files are kept, so all your PDFs, all your Word files, you've got a lot of PDFs, and all your pictures, and even sound will be in here as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of media. Whenever you want to put a picture into somewhere, you can click on the picture itself, and then you've got a URL here, and you can copy that, and that would be the URL that gives you the picture. And it's the same deal with a document, the URL. We don't worry about links. So it's not something that we use very much, and it's not something that I go into. Links we can do within posts and pages, so don't worry about this at all. I tend not to look at it at all. Pages I've explained by saying that that all the pages have been constructed. There's quite a lot of pages. I think there's about 45, and they're all separated into categories and subcategories, and I think we've even got subcategories somewhere. Just subcategories. All of these are in a sort of a file structure. So committees is a top level page, and if we look here, we can see committees as a top level page, and then anything here is a sub page, and anything here is a sub page. But we'll go into pages, how to create them and how to edit them in another video. Comments can only be put on blog posts. So if someone, for example, had commented on a planning news or a parish news, then you could see it there and you can approve it or mark it as spam and have it deleted. Projects we do not use in this website, so don't worry about projects at all. Appearance, you don't really need to go into appearance because it's all the settings that I've changed already, but this is where we see our theme, and our main theme is Divi. It might look, the theme that is currently active is the Divi Child Kestrel Design theme, and that's just the tweaks that I've made to make Divi work for you. So Divi is the main theme that's providing all the way your site looks and feels, and then my Divi Child for the Kestrel Design is the theme that is built on top of Divi to make it work for you. What you would use in appearance is the menus tab, and this is your main menu structure. So as everything you can see here is in the menu structure here, and you just click and drag these things around so that so you can make it a sub-page of staff there, for example, and then when you make a change you press save menu. If you had a new page, you'd just click the new page that comes up and you'd say add to menu, and it would load up at the bottom here, and then you would just grab this and move it to wherever you want, but we don't want that, so we'll just remove that. If you wanted to put a page or a link in here that isn't an actual page, you would put in a custom link. You would say what you want it to be called. For example, my Facebook link is just F, and then I do some coding to make that turn into a nice Facebook button. And you put the URL, the web address in there, and you press add to menu, and then it would come up as another one of these that you can drag around. Remember to press save menu, otherwise your changes won't affect. Plugins. This is going to say, are you sure? Because I've made some changes, but I don't want to save those, so I'm going to leave page. Plugins are some of the clever bits and bobs and gizmos and code that are doing things in the background. I'm going to go through very quickly to tell you what they are. Category reminder. I don't want you to put any posts that don't have a category, because they need to be either planning posts or parish news, village news posts. So I just want you to make sure that there's no uncategorized posts, because they won't show up in the correct places. Custom headers and footers allows me to have this footer area here. A Divi booster means that the theme that we're using, Divi, if there's any bugs, there's a coder who I subscribe to and pay a service from, who updates this plugin so that any issues are always ironed out as soon as possible. The Elegant Themes Updater is the plugin that means that the company who created Divi, whenever they update something, they want to check that whoever is updating the theme is somebody, a genuine customer who has paid the money and the subscriptions to be able to use the theme. So that allows you to do that. And My Calendar is the plugin that is used to create the calendars that are on the meetings calendar and also the planning meetings calendar. So that's your plugins. You don't really need to worry about them other than to keep them up to date, which we've shown you in the first video. Users we've already shown in the first video. Tools, do not worry about tools. There's nothing that you need to know about tools at this stage. Settings. It is worth going through the settings. Go through each one just to see what your website is doing. The site title is what will show up in a Windows browser. And the tagline will also show up in a Windows browser, and sometimes in the tab bars when you are visiting the website. The WordPress URL, I will be changing this once your website's live. The email address is the generic email address, so I've put in the clerk's email address. Don't let anyone register, so keep this unchecked. And again, you've just got a lot of random settings here, which is worth having a look at. It might be worth changing this to English United Kingdom, in fact, so I'll do that now. And then once you've changed this username and password or API key is my password, so that you can use the Divi theme as my customer. So I'm just going to save changes because I changed the site language there. Again, writing, reading, it's worth having a look at, but I've already done the settings for this, so please be careful about changing anything that looks important. And if you do, check the website to make sure it looks okay, and if it doesn't look okay, go back and change it back to what it was. My Calendar is how we access the calendar, so we have to put events in whenever you're planning a meeting, and I'll show you that in another video. Divi is just more settings, and again, it's worth going through just to see what sort of things we have in here. So for example, the general page is where you would add your profiles. If you had a Twitter and a Google+, you would put them in there. And another thing I want to show you now is the integration tab. Once you have Google Analytics tracking code, you paste it into this box here and you press Save Changes. So that concludes a quick run through from the left-hand menu. So the next videos we're going to do is how to do posts, how to edit and add pages, and how to add items to the calendar. So watch out for those videos, and I'll see you there.